Politics as usual episode. This will either be 13 or 12 and a half. We don't know yet. Depends on how long this shit goes. We'll be talking about hip hop What-Ifs because on episode 12 we said we were going to talk about that, and we got off into Star Wars and DC and a whole bunch of comic book shit, which, because we never talk about that on here, probably ran a little longer than what we thought it was going to be.
Right.
So this topic kind of came about because I was at home listening. I went on because my job, I can listen to music all day. So I just have days where I just go on full-on artist discog runs, and I went on a Lupe discog run, which I do probably 2 or 3 times a year. And Ronnie brought up the point of what would have happened if Lupe had signed with Roc-A-Fella. So for those of you who don't know, when Lupe signed his first record deal, he was with a group called The Pack. He was signed to Sony Arista, and over there he was with L.A. Reid, and it was before L.A. Reid went to Def Jam. And during that time, he met Jay-Z, who had recently been appointed president of Def Jam. And after L.A. Reid left the label and went over to Def Jam, the label dropped him because L.A. Reid was basically was keeping him there. And Lupe was looking for a label. He had established First and 15th with Chili. And they of course went to Jay-Z and approached him about doing a label deal with Def Jam, and Jay-Z was like, well, nah, I want to sign you to Roc-A-Fella. And Lupe ultimately says, nah, because you want to sign me, you want me to work for you, I want to be you, and
not my team,
like I want to do what you did with Roc-A-Fella and have my own team of artists. Obviously this is of course there's a time during this where Chili ends up going to jail and a whole bunch of other stuff. But to make a long story less long, Lyor Cohen, who had offered Jay-Z a job with Warner, Lyor Cohen had left Def Jam and taken a position with Warner Music, and Jay-Z introduced, I don't think he had the leverage to give Lupe a full-on label deal with Def Jam, so he introduced him to Lyor, and Lyor gave First and 15th their own sub-label deal with Atlantic, which is what Lyor had done a lot of at Def Jam with Roc-A-Fella, Murder Inc., a few other labels. And that is how First and 15th ended up. But what would have happened if Lupe had said, alright, you know what? You're right. I need to come sign with you. I need to be the first artist under post Dame Biggs and Jay Roc-A-Fella.
That's a very interesting career. Because I also added to that, and I was like, because I kind of think he would have followed Kanye too. Because that was the natural progression. Like the Rock happened, and then when Kanye breaks off and makes good music, he would have broke off and followed that too. So it's really interesting to think about where his career would be. Like, true enough, we damn sure wouldn't have Food and Liquor on the cool, but
no, I think we would have Food and Liquor. Because Food and Liquor was basically made.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, we wouldn't have the.
It just got leaked.
Which the leaked version, by the way, is out there. It's still out there. Please go find it. But yeah, we wouldn't have had the cool. Definitely would have had that. But I think it would have said like there wouldn't have been the lasers.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that he ends up. So first off, I think what happens is Jay still ends up executive producing Food and Liquor.
Food and Liquor, yeah.
I think he has more direct control over it.
Mm-hmm.
I think what ends up happening is rather than him having the whole First and 15th cabal of producers, soundtrack, pro. I think what ends up happening is you get a lot more Just Blaze and Kanye.
Kanye, yeah.
Because Kanye ended up producing one beat on there, which was the cool song. Which
is like the least Kanye sounding beat ever, but I liked it at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think you get like the Mike Shinoda instrument. Well, you do still get that.
Yeah.
Because that was on the advanced version. Because like I said, a lot of that album was made. So I think what you get is you get the initial Food and Liquor, the advanced version, which I think you probably end up with a Jay-Z verse on there somewhere. I don't know if it ends up being over the Trials and Tribulations / Pressure beat that it was. You still get a Jay-Z verse, and then I think what happens is the second Lupe album is probably a lot more label controlled. than what the cool is, and I don't think you get that concept out. So I think you get the advanced version of Food and Liquor because it probably doesn't leak. So I think what you probably end up getting is a lot more Pharrell, Just Blaze, and I don't even think Kanye beats. I think you probably just get a lot more Pharrell and Just Blaze beats on the second Lupe album, executive produced by Jay-Z, and that to me is interesting. That's an interesting rabbit hole to kind of go down.
Do you remember the numbers that the Cool did? Like what's the Cool's classification? Is it gold or is it platinum? Or
I don't even know if it did that.
Yeah, because he was able to leverage doing the Cool, which is a 19-track album, which it's a concept album. It's 19 tracks. It's dark as hell, and there's really one true single on that album. So he was able to.
So here's the thing with the Cool, right? So the Cool was teased as a concept album. He wasn't ultimately able to do it. The concept the way he wanted. But if you go listen to the Advance is what the Cool would have been.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the streets in the game. But let me see.
But yeah, I was gonna. Basically what I was saying, he was able to leverage that because Food and Liquor did surprisingly good. Like, they didn't pump a lot of money or even promotion to Food and Liquor after the leak, but it is surprisingly good. So he was able.
The Cool was gold. It did 140 his first week.
So basically, I want to know what happened. What the hell happened between the Cool and Lasers for them to say, okay, you need
it went gold.
You need this Bruno Mars track.
It went gold.
What?
And you got to remember, in 2008,
gold is
a whole lot different than gold is
good.
today.
Yeah, gold isn't good.
So when Atlantic gave Lupe his own label,
I'll see y'all later.
What's that?
So they gave him his own label. Not only did they give him his own label, Lupe took all the advance money and bailed out his business partner Chili, who.
Hey man, it's dark, man.
Is it? Do we need to get the other light?
Yeah, we'll get the light. We're straight when there's sunlight out, but we'll get it.
Lupe used the advance, so I think this plays a big role in who Lupe was as well. Was the fact that, and he talks about this on Droga's Wave, on Stack That Cheat. Oh no, Imagine. On Imagine, he says, "Bet you didn't know the advance went straight to bail money. Yep, we freed Chili Chill, and to do it all again, I would sign another deal." So he took the $1 million advance that Atlantic gave him to run the label and bailed out Chili. Now, I was talking about this.
Excuse me, people, if you see.
Ronnie will edit this out. We hope. Right. Let there be light. So, I was funny enough, I was actually talking about this on PlayStation chat with my brother and a couple of my friends the other night. One of the things that, like a lot of people don't know, Lupe is probably more street than most people's favorite rapper.
No, he is.
So, the reason that Lupe Fiasco would take $1 million advance, which is basically a super high interest payroll loan, and bail out his business partner is Lupe. I won't say.
Maybe somebody took the fall for her. Maybe. Just maybe.
Maybe somebody was on tape saying things and they didn't end up in jail for that.
Right.
So that's why Lupe would take $1 million advance and put it straight to getting his business partner out on bail. So that's probably the reason that First and 15th disbanded in 2009. Where he dropped the entire label because he took the advance money that was given to him to run the label and bailed out his business partner, which is the stand-up thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the circumstances. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, Lupe himself has stated that. This way. Lupe himself has stated, like, he was actually, Chili's wife actually tried to sue him and state that Lupe was hiding money from her, and Lupe was like, no, I'm taking my show money that I'm making today and I've put it in an account for Chili. So Chili, who's doing 44 years for a lot of things, I don't know, go read the dockets on that stuff. But Lupe, yeah, he took. So I think when you look at the what ifs with First and 15th, what if they had never gotten raided in the first place, and that deal happens, and he doesn't have to use the $1 million to go get Chili out of jail. That to me is almost as interesting as what
now
if.
That part I didn't know. I didn't know like why First and 15, just was like disbanded or dismantled or whatever. But
well, he disbanded it because he said the pressure of running the label and being its biggest artist was too much. Because Chili was supposed to be the dame to his jet.
Yeah, Chili was supposed to handle the
day-to-day operations of the business of First and 15.
Which is, of course, why him and Gemini fell out, and Gemini was like...
Well, no, Gemini actually asked to be off the label earlier. Like, I don't think, like, it wasn't a falling out thing with them. It was a Gemini needed to be off the label. Because he was trying to do his own thing. I was actually reading about this stuff the other day. So yeah, I don't think there was really a falling out between that. I think with Lupe, it was just like, I can't do this. I can't develop new acts and be trying to put out music to satisfy my own contract. So I think the thing with Lupe is more, there's a lot of what ifs you can go down with Lupe. What if Chili doesn't get locked up? Hell, you could do a what if he's allowed to put out LUPN, which I'm so disappointed. I know you said we kind of got that, but I'm so disappointed we never got that album because the Cool and Food and Liquor set it up. There was the Cool, and we never really got the conclusion to that. I think we got what it was gonna be because LUPN was supposed to be a triple. If you don't know, LUPN was supposed to be a triple album. That ended Lupe's career, and it was END, LUPEND. It was like everything, nothing, and death. Yeah, was like what END stood for. And Atlantic came in and was like, no, we're not letting you out of your contract by dropping a triple album. So that's when the whole Lasers debacle happened, and Lupe's dad dies. He ends up going through a lot of shit. Him and Leor fall out. Him and Craig fall out, which leads to a lot of things. Just look at the whole Lasers debacle if you want to know like what happened to Lupe Fiasco. It was a lot of things. Like Lupe wanted to get out of his contract and focus on First and 15 because at that point in time, Chili had been sentenced, and he was like, "Yo, it's on me to be the boss of this label that has Gemstone, Sarah G, Nikki Jean." There was a group that he had signed called He Said She Said out of Chicago.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was on him to do all this, and he's like, I can't do this and be Lupe Fiasco. I need to be Wasalu Jaco, so I'm gonna drop this one album. And Atlantic came in and said, No, you're not. So the interesting part of this is, what if it does go the other way and he signs with Roc-A-Fella? Obviously, we don't get Gemstones. We don't get a lot of you don't get pro and soundtrack produced albums, but that second album that's probably mostly just Blaze, Pharrell, and Kanye beats, I am wondering what we probably actually get Child Rebel Soldier.
Yeah.
Well,
because Child, of course, there was a lot of like legal reasons why Child Rebel Soldier could never happen, but if he's on the same label as Kanye,
right? Like, it's able to happen a little bit more easily,
right?
And it's just it's interesting when you Lupe's career is a case study in a lot of things. But like we were talking about this the other with Lupe's street ties, and they had brought up somebody else, and I said, here's the thing: like when you look at artists before they blow up, you see the street people around them. Like with Lupe, you saw Chili around him,
right? And
like Lupe rebranded him because if you listen to Fahrenheit First and 15. A lot of street talk. There's a lot of street talk.
A lot of good talk.
On Fahrenheit 115. A lot of street talk.
Yeah.
Like hold on, I gotta pull up the track of this. I could tell you where all the greasy street talk is on that particular mixtape because there's a lot. And initially I was like, man, when I first heard Fahrenheit 115 after I heard Food and Liquor.
It's same here.
Why is Lupe talking all this? And then I like read into him and was like, oh, here it is. So you get Knocking at the Door.
It switches on there, right? Or is that on
no, that's the one.
Okay, that's on two.
Switch. Yeah. Ooh is another one. But Knocking at the Door, where he's rapping like Big, and the champ is. It's a lot of street talk, Lupe on that.
Right.
And it's after like he's in the middle of recording this tape when the 1st and 15th offices get raided. And that's when the switch up comes, when he realizes, I can't be this dude anymore. So you can go on the internet, and there is no trace of Wasalu Jaco being a street dude at all. Anyway, he did a great job of rebranding his image, but it was funny. I remember when Donald Glover tweeted he would smack the shit out of Lupe, and everybody with his mentions, it was like, nah. Like, that was when he was walking around looking like a Mortal Kombat extra, when he was wearing like the ninja boots and he had like the short drip. People thought Lupe was crazy.
Because think about this. Think in Lupe's entire career, has any Chicago artist ever said a negative word about Lupe?
No.
They've said more about Kanye than Lupe.
And here's the thing. Go listen to on Fahrenheit 115, the second one. Mean and Vicious. Mm-hmm. There once was a boy that grew up on the west side of Chicago, rocked his hat to the left side. Anyone will tell you, if you go to Chicago, you don't cock your hat anyway, because that is signaling that you are affiliated with something. Mm-hmm. If Lupe was cocking his hat a certain way, that meant he was affiliated with something and was with it, and didn't care if you saw him doing so. Lupe is not some, like, don't let him doing samurai ninja stuff fool you.
Don't let the skateboard.
Don't let Kick Push and the nerdy stuff. Like, nah, Lupe is probably more street than most of your favorite rappers. He just got hit with some real street stuff and said, I'm good on that.
I'm out. Yeah.
And his mans took a long sentence and Lupe said, I'm cool. I'm gonna play the nerd side of me up and not let you. Like I said, I'm not here to say anything about anyone, but you can go online and you can see there's a court case where there were phone records of people talking about things. I'll leave that at that. And after that, Lupe suddenly started playing more into the nerd side of Wasalu Jaco and not the street side of Wasalu Jaco. But what the conclusion we came to on if Lupe is signed with Jay is he basically would have been who'd you say?
I said, oh shit.
He basically probably would have been like Pusha T.
Well, yeah.
Like he would have been like between it's Common.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I say he would have been like
best case scenario Common. Yeah. Worst case scenario Saha.
Because where he's like relevant, like where you say his name and like he's still a household name and he's not to the back of your mind, but at the same time, he's like at this point in his career, he's probably like far removed from like the height of his career. Like he's probably on the downside. But just like you said, I think if Lupe could do it all again, he would have did the same way.
He would have did the exact same thing. And he says he would have done the exact same thing. If he could do it all again, he would have done the exact same thing. And again, much respect, like, I didn't know all of this stuff when like lasers and all this stuff was going on. It's like kind of more like I learned more of this stuff like when Tetsuo and Youth and I started reading more into the, because I was instantly, so I wrote about this on the 10-year anniversary of Food and Liquor. When I first heard Lupe, I was up in Ohio. It was 2006. October 2006. I had just moved to Birmingham. It was my first time back visiting Ohio. I'm at my brother's crib, him and his two roommates, and my boy Joe throws on Lupe Fiasco's Ignorant Shit freestyle. Now, mind you, I'd heard of Lupe before this because he was on. I think it was like Live 04, Tilted.
Oh yeah, Tilted was on there, yeah.
And then one of my homeboys was coming like, yo, Kick Push, man, Lupe Fiasco, you gotta listen. He's like the savior hip, and he's like one of them dudes that like whenever he recommends you music, it's done with an eye roll. Cause he was like the dude that be championing like super duper conscious, like, bullshit the fuck out of here. Yeah. So like I never paid it attention. Cause I heard Kick Push and I was like, what kind of single is this? Like, I want to hear about skateboarding. So I didn't pay attention to anything of it. So I'm in the house, we chilling, and my boy's like, yo, you gotta hear this. And he throws on Lupe Fiasco's Ignorant Shit freestyle. And my face immediately went. I said, yo, burn that for me. He said, I got you. So he burned the Chi-Town Guevara mixtape, which is a lot of snippets of Lupe freestyles from Fahrenheit 1st and 15, 1 and 2. And he added for me the Ignorant Shit freestyle and the Dear Fall freestyle. And I was like, yo, I'm a fan.
Yes.
So that was my first time hearing Lupe. So I think the first time I heard Fahrenheit 1st and 15, Fahrenheit 115, 1 and 2 was like in 08. like after the Cooler drop. No, it was 07. And I was like, yo, these is hard.
I'm actually surprised to find out I've been a Lupe fan longer than you.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Because like I said, I knew who he was, but like the person who tried to put me on to him
just
was
kind
like
of
that
like
annoying hip hop fan. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear no hip hop suggestions you got.
The moment I heard by the way, Late Registration by He Who Shall Not Be Named is still one of my favorite albums of all time. Like I haven't listened to it.
You mean Late Registration by Romfest and Consequence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, heard that Such the Sky verse. I heard him mention Lupe in the Third.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is? So I went and I worked in the library in my high school. I went in and I found it's the Touch the Sky mixtape. It's not an official mixtape. It's a compilation of just tracks he's done throughout the years. And I just downloaded it. I listened to it. I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. So that was my introduction to Lupe.
I'll tell you what made me a Lupe fan. It was on the Internet Shit Freestyle when he goes, check me in my $50, $59.50 buying diamonds is just no longer in me. So no more chains, flooded watches on the right hand. I work like a Mexican, spin like a white man. I was like, who that?
Yeah.
Give me everything you got on him right now on the CD.
Like, just
right now on the CD.
Yeah.
Like all it took was that line, and I because like our boy Cleverly Dope was on the timeline yesterday. Like, yo, favorite Lupe verse. I don't know if I got one. I was like Ignorant Shit Freestyle. Like, cause that's what made me a fan of his.
Cause I started that by saying you already know my favorite Lupe verse, do you?
Was
Pressure.
Yeah. I was gonna say yeah.
So it seems that I'm sewing G's and pressing 15th is just a sewing machine. So which is. Yeah.
Perfect timing, Revenge of the Nerds theme song. Yes.
Yeah. Just how we drew it up. Yeah.
I was listening to the Revenge of the Nerds mixtape on the way here. Cause earlier this week I was like, yo, cause somebody asked your favorite anime gunman.
Yeah.
And I quoted it. I don't need a Japanese flag bash to stampede the hip hop straight from the hip. Bang. The second verse on Trials and Tribulations, which is the same song as Pressure, it's different verses. So if you don't know about the Trials and Tribulations Pressure, so Trials and Tribulations was on the Advance of Food and Liquor. So when it leaked, he went back and reworked it. And
I'm actually glad he did because that Pressure verse is crazy. But yeah,
but the Trials and Tribulations.
No, I love Trials and Tribulations, but Pressure is.
So they sent that beat to Jay-Z, the Trials and Tribulations. They sent it to Jay-Z. Lupe the Killer is still one of his best, illest. But go listen to Revenge of the Nerds. Because like if you can hear this theme song, which I'm sure you can. Revenge of the Nerds. No. But oh man, now I'm gonna have to listen to Revenge of the Nerds. I'm about to listen to Revenge of the Nerds on the way home. I had no idea this was coming on. But the Trials and they sent it to Jay-Z. Jay laid his verse, and Lupe was like, nah, you ain't finna do that to me. So he goes back and he records the Pressure verses. And initially, when I first heard it, I was like, man, Hov got him. Until I went back and listened.
It was actually reversing me because I will say this. People say that like, oh, Hov verse is trash, but it's not because the whole Warhol's line.
So you gotta listen. You gotta. He's going the wrong way down the one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And full speed too. Okay, sorry.
This is the corner of death right here.
So, listening to when I first heard it, because it's September 2006. Hov hadn't dropped nothing since the Black Albums came out in November 03? 3 years really since we heard Hov basically. He did Dear Summer, he had a couple verses here and there. But it was like when people were speculating that he was coming back. Yeah. So Lupe, he's doing his thing, and he's like,
this is pre-Kingdom Come at this point.
Right. He's like, and big homie's at a retirement. Yes, sir. Yeah. And so Hov comes in. I'm like, I don't know what to expect. And so the pen is mightier than the sword, my lord. My first picture was a lineup. Now I'm on the Forbes. I still remain an artiste through these all. If you force my hand, I'll be forced to draw. If the war calls for war halls, I hope you got enough space on your hall's walls. I'll make niggas murals. I was like, mind you, I went and got this album on my lunch break, September 19th. I heard it was coming. I said, yo, I'm going to get this. I leave work, ran straight up to Best Buy, bought the CD, put it in my car. By the time I drive back on 280 traffic, I get there. Like the end of my lunch break is pressure's coming on, and I heard this and I said, "Yo," I said, "Hov is back." I didn't even pay attention to Lupe's verse. I said, "Hov is back."
See, Lupe's verses was so crazy that I was just like.
It wasn't until somebody pointed out on the first verse when he was like a little big in the waist,
two pocket on the back,
call
blue vibes, OGs covered in blue dye.
Somebody point. I was like.
And it's on the old website. It doesn't exist anymore. But I had a post breaking down that those entire two verses because he continues to take the theme on the second verse, and that's like the best wordplay I've ever heard.
Tell them that your soul's not for sale like the W's. So go ahead and pirate the Hyatts. Make your kin elite like pirated my shit. It's no shit. It's just like quiet. Big homies out of retirement. Good times, man. Good times. Hard to believe that's 13 years ago.
Right.
This 13. So that album's special to me because it came out a week before my 19th birthday. I had just moved to Birmingham, like 2 months prior, and that album came out, and I'm mad that like I lost that CD in a car wreck.
I don't know where that CD is now.
I had them like up on my window visor. Yeah. And like my car wrecked, and like I lost a whole bunch of CDs because like my car ended up flipping over.
Damn.
Yeah, so I lost like a ton of CDs, and that was one of them. Like that in the cool, I lost in that car wreck. But I do have the 10th anniversary edition vinyl.
Cause man, I mean, this is really going to age me. But if you are familiar with Tuscaloosa, me and my two roommates, we drove down to Circuit City, which is now the Best Buy on McFarland, by the way. So that really ages me, and we each bought a copy of Food and Liquor, and then I popped mine and I got in the back seat, and then you just hear it drop like. And
Food and Liquor stores have been
right.
In the corner, Jerry Gels, finger chick, good finger licking.
And
listen, man. Yeah. All right. So what are some other hip hop what ifs?
I also threw this out. This is like a far less significant one, but basically, what if Ross built the war chest of Wale, Dumb Kennedy, Nipsey Hussle, Currency, and Wiz Khalifa? Because that was almost a thing. Like Rick Ross went to Wale and Wiz and Currency. It was like Soundwave and MG. And they almost did. And then
instead Currency signed a BD7.
Right, and had the Sue Dame Dash and which probably, I mean, at least we got Pilot Talk from it. Pilot Talk was dope, but still, like, I think that's one of the best what ifs because his MMG roster was okay, but I think if he would have had that, like, that just launches him into like a just new stratosphere right there. Like if he would have had that roster.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of, because I mean, who do you end up with? Stolly and Gunplay?
Yeah, Stolly, Gunplay. Wale came later, like much later, and Meek.
But when you start talking about Meek, Wale, Dom Kennedy, Currency, and Wiz,
all like this is like Harden, Russell, and KD on the team at the same time in their primes. Like that's what it is because they're all at this point they're all at the height of their career and they're all under one roof. So if Ross would have masterminded that, I think like he'd have because. By the way, Rick Ross is one of my favorite rappers all the time, like H.H. But yeah,
I wasn't gonna.
I know, but
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm saying as a businessman, he's almost like in Jay-Z and the Rock territory.
I won't argue that. He got his own label deal with
Warner Brothers. Yeah,
you know he's made a lot of smart decisions.
Yep.
Business wise, like I can't be mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he screwed up his Reebok shoe deal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We won't go into
we won't go into that.
We won't go into that here.
But by the way, I forgot what video it is, but it's a video of Rick Ross like moonwalking into Reeboks. It's like hilarious, but yeah.
I've never seen that.
Moonwalking into Reeboks. But yeah, it's. You need to see it because his moonwalk is awful, but it's funny.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I'm trying to think of another one. I had so many of these.
Yeah, I had so many of those.
I mean, we could go into what if the Roc didn't break up?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, that's not really that interesting.
No. What if the Murder Inc. album dropped? By the way, if you don't know, we're not talking about Murder Inc. the label. We're talking about Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule.
Was the original group Murder Inc.
They released one song, which I'm sure.
No, they did two.
Okay, they did two. They
had it's I have to go find because I did a post on this. 10 hip hop albums we never got.
Yeah.
10 joint hip hop albums we never got. And that was like the second post on it. You can Google 10 joint hip hop albums we never, or just go to thekidwearcrowns.com and search joint hip hop albums. And Murder Inc. They did Murdergram and It's Murder. They faded away due to tension between DMX and Who. Which apparently the tension arose after the Hard Knock Life tour, where there was a videotaped. It wasn't a battle, but Jay and DMX were ciphering, and people took it as a battle. And
put pinstripes on your windpipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
Please find that video. Find DMX Freestyle Hard Knock Life tour. YouTube that after you watch this video, of course. But that lets you know that DMX was on Jay-Z's footing. Like he was like at that time, maybe even.
I mean, so one of my favorite hip hop theories is that song cries about Jay-Z rapping
and
hip hop.
Yeah.
And at the start of the third verse, he said, "Face was stoned, was shocked on the other end of the phone." All right, Mike.
I see.
Word back home is that you had a special friend, and that was hip hop referencing DMX. So when Jay-Z talks about I was just fucking them girls, I was gonna get right back, he's talking about I was doing those party records for the girls. I was gonna get back to that pure hip hop shit. You didn't have to go and rock with DMX who's doing that hardcore shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, people don't remember this, but and then there was X Drop. X was that dude in NYC hip hop. Cause like, and then there was X Dropped, and then like Hov put out what, Volume 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Volume 3 at that point.
Go look at those albums
and Hov still tried to throw it out there when he can't stand us when we cock them hammers, running your crib, no prisoners, pop your grandma. Like he tried to throw stuff in there, but his singles was still what was the single? Like Can I Get a, or like,
Can I Get a, he tried to do with Volume 3, Not Guilty.
Right, so like his singles like his album cuts were still there, but like people were judging him by the singles, and I was like, oh man, you done went too soft, man. But X had that lane at that point, so.
Yeah, I mean, and X was the hard, because Hov tried to do the pretty boy, pretty raps and.
Yeah. And that's my least favorite iteration of Jay-Z, which is why I tell you. By the way, I'm gonna share this take for everybody. Like, I don't really like the Blueprint. Like, I'm not saying this is not a good album. I'll say I don't like the Blueprint, and because that's
now, mind you, to me, the Blueprint is the greatest hip hop album of all time.
Oh, but to me, Jay-Z is my favorite rapper, but that type of Jay-Z is my least favorite iteration of Jay-Z. See,
that's to me. So, give you a bit of a history lesson on me. I was not a Jay-Z fan in high school. So my brother, who you all have met,
you know the vibes.
You know the vibe. It's 2005. Me and my brother are playing NCAA football against one another on Xbox. And my brother's like, dog, I don't know how you don't like Jay-Z. Like, as much, like, how you rap, you would love his style. And he's like, man, you know what? Man, let me throw on something for you. So he throws on Blueprint. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this shit. We're playing, my brother gets up on me like 14-0, and I think it's around the time that, go find the Blueprint. Because I have to know exactly, I have to tell you exactly what song came on. It's around like track 5 or 6. And I'm like, I don't even care that my brother's beating me 14-0. And I was like, no. Never Change came on. Never Change came on.
Which is, by the way, which is my favorite song on Blueprint.
Never Change came on. And I'm like,
because we did lose 92 bricks, and we had to fall back. So check it out.
I said, yo, what? My brother's like, dog, I don't know how you been hating on this nigga for years.
Yeah, man.
And immediately I was like, yo, I need every Hove album on your computer.
Yeah.
Like, ASAP. Like, I need that.
See, it was reversed for me because my older brother was the Jay-Z fan, and
my brother wasn't even the Jay-Z fan.
I didn't like Jay-Z until, and it's crazy because I didn't like Jay-Z until I saw the Change Clothes video, because that Pharrell beat is crazy. And I was like, hey. And then my brother was like, yeah, nigga, I've been trying to tell you that Jay-Z is that nigga. So I listened to the Black album, and then I saw the Fade to Black documentary, and I was like, I get it now.
Which I still have Fade to Black on DVD, even though I have nothing to play on.
Right.
But like, I still, whenever he gets to the part of performing encore, I still like stand up on whatever I can stand up on in my house.
Where's that Rick Rubin track he was rapping over, which is just crazy?
I have no idea.
If you've never seen the Fade to Black video, he's at Rick Rubin's house, and Rick Rubin's on the couch barefooted like he always is, and it's like,
I thought that was 99 Problems.
No. There's another track that he's rapping over. That was never released.
Now I gotta go back.
And it's fucking crazy because he's doing like a double time flow. It's crazy.
Now so there was a point in my life when like I needed inspiration to rap. I would go watch Fade to Black, and then I would go watch the Collision Course documentary where he was in the studio with Linkin Park rapping, and I would just be like, I had a black New York Yankee fitted.
Cause man, Fade to Black make you feel something, cause you like, man, this is the greatest of all time. He's stepping away. Like I thought it was over.
That was my other.
I thought it was over.
That was my other what if. What if Hove had stayed away?
You know what I'm about to say, right?
What?
We would never got American Gangster, which is, by the way, Reasonable Doubt Part 2.
So here, hot take, and you've heard this.
I've heard it, but go ahead. Which I disagree with.
If Hove drops Reasonable Doubt before he drops Kingdom Come, people don't hate Kingdom Come as much as they do. Nobody wanted Kingdom Come fresh off the Black Album. Nobody wanted The Godfather Part 3 fresh after The Godfather Part 2. The Godfather Part 3 is not a bad movie. It's a bad sequel to The Godfather Part 2. Well, Kingdom Come is not...
Two cousins are having sex in Godfather 3.
Okay,
but I get what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that's a generic mafia movie. Under a generic title, people don't hate that movie.
Because, by the way, if you don't know, the Godfather 3 was supposed to be named The Death of Michael Corleone, but they're like, name it Godfather 3. So, because they didn't want to add it to the canon. It's supposed to be The Death of Michael Corleone, but because it's named Godfather 3, it kind of ruins it.
By the way, the idea for the Godfather Part 4, that's a what if that should be explored. Because
I don't know this.
Godfather Part 4 was supposed to be Andy Garcia growing old and killing the Corleone family by selling drugs, with intermittent flashbacks of his father's rise, played by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wait, what?
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play young Sonny Corleone.
No.
And it was supposed to be Vincent plunging the family into the drug trade that Michael kept the family.
Wait.
Yes. They discussed it. It was in the works in the late 90s.
This sounds amazing.
Yes, and it was never made. It was never made.
Because Godfather 3 bombed.
It was never, but that was supposed to be...
This sounds crazy.
That was supposed to be Godfather Part 4. It was supposed to be... Because if you listen to, and I can't remember if it was Scorsese that said this, but they said Vincent is, because Vincent was a created character, because they make sure to state that Sonny never had any kids with his mother, Lucy Mancini, I think was her name.
Yeah, he's an outside child, which kind of makes no sense because in the first Godfather movie, his mother is at the wedding, but not
well, they make sure that. So in the book, it stated that Sonny's wife didn't have a problem with him cheating because he had a very high libido and Paul's a large that she couldn't handle. So she didn't mind him cheating, but they made sure to state that her bridesmaid, Lucy Mancini, never carried a child. So they created that for the film. So they state that in the film, Vincent is all of the parts of the previous Corleone. He has Vito's cunning. He has Vito's strength. Sonny's strength. Vito's brain, Michael's cunning, and Fredo's heart. And they state he's the best of all of them, because he ends up plunging the Corleone.
Because when he first meets Mike,
drugs.
he does something that he's not supposed to do, and then Mike kind of has to remember, like, oh shit, I rose to power by killing a police officer, and that's the no-go of the family. So you kind of remind me of myself. So okay, you cool. So yeah, that's why. Yeah. But that sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, but
sounds crazy.
It was supposed to be him, like, ultimately destroying the family by selling drugs, by plunging the family into the drug trade. Which, if you remember, his dad wanted to do that, and it's supposed to be Vincent finally doing that, spliced with flashbacks of Leonardo DiCaprio as young Sonny Corleone, rising to be the prince of the city. To be his.
That sounds crazy.
So they were gonna do like the opposite of Godfather 2, where it showed Mike and Vito. They were gonna show Sonny and Vinny. Yeah, this was supposed to happen.
By the way, this is totally a Godfather episode now, because that sounds crazy.
I'm like, dog. How did this not? I know Godfather 3 bombed, but Leo DiCaprio was young Sonny Corleone.
And see, if they would have allowed them to just call that movie The Death of Michael Corleone and separate it from the canon 1 and 2. And then that movie could be a direct sequel to The Death of Michael Corleone. That would have worked.
Yeah, and that's why I say people hate Kingdom Come, because it was our first time hearing Jay-Z in 3 years. 4 years, because it came out in 07. It was our first time hearing Jay-Z in 4 years, and that's not, we didn't want to hear Hov come back. So, like, 440, like, so our boy B. Will loves to talk about how he dislikes 444 because he's like, yo, Jay's known this for years. Why is he just now talking all this?
Because that's what he has in life now.
But like I told him, I said he tried to do it on Kingdom Come, he didn't know how. He tried to do it on Magna Carta, he didn't know how. 444 was him like, okay, I know how. Because on Magna Carta, he was still like kind of arrogant, hadn't really lost his family yet. Blue was here, but you know, he was still on his braggadocio thing. Kingdom Come, he wasn't married, didn't have any kids. He was trying to tell us all this black empowerment, get on your shit, but he didn't know how.
Because in Magna Carta, he's telling you like I'm in the bathroom pissing while looking at Basquiat. Now he's telling you that Basquiat I have is worth X amount
because I bought it and it appreciates it. He didn't know how to say that. So if you go back, Kingdom Come is what, 14 tracks? 10 of them are good Jay-Z tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Prelude is arguably his best intro. I know people.
No, I agree with it.
I know people love to say the Dynasty intro. To me, it's the Prelude.
It's the Prelude.
And Beast Chair is arguably his best outro.
Elsa was a 3. Lawyer chick.
Sure, he's rich now because he saw the shit. All the shit's why call him Hov, because he came before all the shit. Yeah, that. I mean, you go from that. Oh my God, this man. Kingdom Come is fire. Show me what you got. I'll fuck with. Lost Ones, 30 something. Then you get into like Mama I Made It, which is.
I'll say this. We're like, just to add context, we're forgetting the narrative because Jay-Z released "Show Me What You Got," which I, by the way, I really like 1500 Nothing. The beat is crazy, or whatever. But then comes Lil Wayne's freestyle, and Lil Wayne was the guy, and people was like, "Oh, he killed Hov." So that was just a narrative.
But I mean, the thing was, what is he in the song with?
I know.
Tell you what, the fools, kings.
I know.
I'm just out the throne. You clone the king's back.
I'm just saying that was the narrative at the moment.
And he was talking to Lil, but you got to remember, Lil Wayne was on freestyle talking about
Yeah.
Bitch ass nigga, I ain't got no master. Rich ass nigga, I own all my masters because Jay-Z did the entire Def Jam deal so he could buy out Roc-A-Fella and get all of his masters back. Like, and then we of course later found out that Lil Wayne didn't own his masters. But there was a little beef brewing there for a long minute. And I think Kingdom Come is received better if he releases American Gangster first. And then because go back and listen to Kingdom Come. It's not a bad album.
It's not a bad album. I really think American Gangster's like right short of a masterpiece. I hustle Kane, hustle clothes, I hustle music, hustle hard, any hustle that you pick. So skinny nigga toothpick. But I do lift weight like I'm using.
So my beef with American Gangster is Hello Brooklyn. Lil Wayne should not have been on that.
I don't like. But thing is, like,
not have been on.
But
that.
You know the narrative were there, right?
Well, he wanted that song. He heard the record. And he wanted that song, so Wayne was like, "I'm only giving it to you if you let me rap on it."
It goes beyond it. Like, yeah, he wanted you to rap on it, but Hov like, "No, he's just doing the hook." So that's kind of like, because there's always a meta narrative with Hov, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go son, you just do the hook. You're not rapping on it."
Yeah, and Wayne ended up rapping.
Yeah.
So yeah, American Gangster is. I listened to it the other day. I hated. I listen to Kingdom Come more than I listen to American Gangster, but part of that is because there's a part of me that detests Lil Wayne because people elevated Lil Wayne to this place after he should have been there because Squad Up Lil Wayne is 10 times the rapper that everything post Carter 2 Wayne is. Like, people love that. Like, Carter 3 is one of the best albums of all. Carter 3 is garbage. Carter 4 is garbage. Carter 5 is garbage. Carter 1 and 2 are good. The dedication, like, so again, I moved here in 2006. Dedication to it just came out. I remember listening to it, talking with my brother and them, and my brother, huge Lil Wayne fan. I was like, dog, Lil Wayne's falling off. He said, what, you crazy? I said, bro, he's getting lazy. He's losing his step. He's not rapping like the dude that rapped on the first Young Money Double Disc mixtape with him, Mac Man, Currency, and Boo. He's not rapping like the dude on them Squad Up tapes. He's rapping like somebody who is feeling himself, somebody who knows who he is.
I'll say this. That's not totally true, and I'll tell you why. Because if you just go to YouTube right now, after you watch this video, by the way, and just type in Carter 3 leak and just gather any random 10 Carter. There are really good songs there.
I'm not saying,
but by the time he gets to Carter 3, like, he has to make those clever. Because if you listen to Dr. Carter, which is I think a very clever song for Lil Wayne,
it is.
It was there, but
okay. So what I'm saying is, it's not that I'm not saying he was a bad rapper on the Carter 3.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm saying he stopped trying. Because there was a point where Wayne was trying to prove to everybody, I am the best rapper alive. And go listen to Squad Up 4. Mm-hmm. Go listen to Squad Up 4. Go listen to Renegade.
Go listen to Prefix. Suffix.
Go listen to the OG Young Money mixtape with Mac Man, Currency, and Lil Boo. Lil Wayne, Mac Man, Currency, and Boo. Go listen to that. That's the Wayne that I was a fan of. And by the time I heard, I was like, yo, he getting lazy.
Yeah.
And of course, when Carter 3, Carter 4 comes out, my brother's like, damn, man, that nigga. I'm like, bro, he stopped trying.
Well, no, I didn't rock with Carter 3 at all.
He stopped trying.
Because he
after Carter 3 came out, that was the worst thing to happen for his career. Because he put out an album full of half-ass contrived singles, and what happened? It went platinum in a week. Mm-hmm. So what did Lil Wayne stop doing?
Stop trying.
I don't need to rap no more.
Stop trying.
I'm Lil Wayne. I'm going to go platinum as soon as I come out. And that's why the Lil Wayne now granted, he's
rapping now. He's back to rapping now.
I ain't gonna go all that.
No. I'm telling you, he's back to rapping now.
His verse on A Seat at the Table was great. I loved his verse on No Love.
His verse on Tyler the Creator's album.
I don't listen to Tyler the Creator.
What?
You talking about the Jelly whatever?
Yeah.
I ain't listening to that.
It's a good song, man.
Yeah.
And then his verse on 2 Chainz album is actually good.
I haven't listened to 2 Chainz album either. Because I wanted 2 Chainz album with features.
But this album is a good 2 Chainz album. It's the album that people the main thing that people criticize 2 Chainz for. This is the album that he gave you. So.
Yeah, but it's LeBron James still ain't an artist, and I have a problem with that.
Load management.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to the Laker fans out there. It has to be hard for you, but yeah.
I'm a Hornets fan, so I can't really talk.
Yeah.
Another Lupe intro. This is right before the song with Shayla G. I think it's track 4 or 5. Yeah.
It was written, man. It was meant to happen.
Yeah. So I don't think we have any more. We got any more hip hop what-ifs? All right. So I don't know if this will be episode 13 or 12 and a half. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's one of the two. We'll be back at some point. You know the vibes. Till next time, peace.
Politics as usual.